Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am in this really weird lighting because it's so bright outside I had to shut my, just forgive me for this lighting. Today I'm going to do a get ready with me. I'm just going to be doing my makeup because I'm filming other videos today, and I'm going to be answering your romantic questions. I asked you some questions on the YouTube community part of my channel, and you guys commented like 50 something questions. It's amazing. So it's going to be more specific situational questions, not just like Taurus and Gemini, but I'm going to be talking about emotionally abusive relationships, getting over confidence issues, getting over fear of rejection, being afraid of dating a certain sign if you don't think you're good with them, or you've been told you won't be, that won't be a prosperous relationship. But yeah, we're going to be talking about it, and I'm going to be doing my makeup. And this is kind of my everyday, well, if I wear makeup, my everyday makeup, and especially for filming. So let's get into it. Okay, first I'm going to apply my Glossier Priming Moisturizer Rich. I'm not sure if it's like my favorite thing in the world yet, because I don't really know if it really helps to like hydrate the skin, but it does help your makeup look better. It's good for, priming, I suppose, making the skin look better under makeup. Okay, love in search of words. You should do a video on dating the same sign. My boyfriend and I are both Leos, and it's a very interesting relationship. It is very interesting. I am a Leo, and I dated a Leo in college. And sorry if you hear noise, my boyfriend is producing next door. I dated a Leo in college. I'm using the Burt's Bees Goodness Glows liquid makeup in Soft Honey with my beauty blender. And it was fun. It was super fun. I've only dated one Leo, I think. He just immediately caught my eye at the time because, when I first met him, because someone told me first that he could sing. Someone was like, yo, that kid, like, he can sing. And I was like, that's interesting. And he just looked like he took care of himself. I knew he was an athlete. He was like a marathon runner. And not that I like love runners, but it was attractive that he took care of himself. I'm a Leo, so I like people that take care of themselves and don't scoff at, taking care of your appearance and your body and things like that. That lines up with what I'm into. And he always was dressed very well, like would dress so well for school, really nice sweaters, and he had like a beautiful collection of watches. And yeah, so I liked that kind of showy aspect about him. Like I could tell he kind of liked attention, and that was cool with me. So it was nice in general dating the same sign. And I think his Venus was in Leo too, because he was a major gift giver. He was really generous, and he was super into like spoiling and whatever. In the end, I don't want to say he had a wandering eye. That's like a little bit extreme. In the end, I think it was just that, like it was a college relationship. And I think because I'm a Leo, I was like, I need to be the center of his universe. And every guy I date, even if like they're just a short-term relationship, I need them to think that I'm the one. And, as you grow older, you realize it really doesn't have to be like that. Not everyone needs to think that you're the one. You can just be having fun. That said, I would rather be more upfront with that. And if someone didn't think, that they were going to be with me long term, I would rather them not say like, I love you. And I would rather not be boyfriend and girlfriend with them. That's just how I am. He was very proud of me. He loved showing me off. He was a little bit jealous. And it's funny because Leos we're said that we're so loyal. But we also like attention, and if we're not getting attention, we will seek it from other people. Not that Leos are really cheaters, I don't think they go that far, but they definitely seek outside validation. And also I think deep down he really wanted someone who was like an athlete, who was a runner, or somebody who like that fitness was like a major part of their life. And I like to work out, but it's not a major part of my life, and it was for him. So I don't know, it was lovely dating the same sign. I can't say I'm usually attracted to Leos, but I had a positive experience because it was good timing. I was a little bitter, like I broke up with him and whatever, but I was still a little bitter because I feel like he was like into his ex from back home, or he would at least talk to her. But he did make me feel really good. He was always giving me compliments and telling me I was beautiful and all of that. Treated me very well for the most part. So I had a positive experience dating the same sign. I can say we weren't the same person. It's not like, oh, I'm dating myself. We were still different enough to be fun for each other. Okay, Victoria Washington. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't even mention. I used the Too Faced Born This Way Sculpting Concealer under my eyes in Almond. So, okay, now we have Victoria Washington. Okay, I'm a Virgo woman having problems with a Scorpio man. Ever since the beginning of our so-called relationship, he has hurt me so many times by yelling at me over the phone or like a 5-year-old. He's insulting me by making fun of my faith and beliefs as a Christian, making fun of how I speak. I hate the way he treats his children by yelling at them, and all of this, it's a turnoff. We always end up back together. Trust me, I've been there. If you were in this situation, what would you do? I gave him a lot of chances to make it right with me, but he's blown every last one, and I'm at the boiling point of cutting everything off with him for good. Can you please do a video on zodiac signs that are date-worthy for Virgos and zodiac signs we Virgos should avoid like the plague? Honestly, it's really not about signs in this situation. It sounds like you're dating someone who needs help and is not getting help, who may have anger management issues, who is an emotional abuser, clearly a verbally abusive person. So for me, it's much less about, you need to not be with a Scorpio, because actually Scorpios can be a lovely combination for Virgos at times. Because I always, love water and earth signs together. First of all, I'm so sorry that this is happening. And I'm so sorry that, coming from my experience, it's almost like you're stuck in a Too-Faced Born This Way powder. When I've been in a few emotional abusive relationships, and, people always say, get out. And people always say, what are you doing? Leave him. He's crap. If my friends always said, if a guy treated me like this, you would tell me to dump him. And it's much easier said than done, because you're in a cycle. And for me, that cycle lasted years with several different men. It wasn't just me getting back together and breaking up with one man over and over again. It was like breaking up and getting back together with a man 2 or 3 times, and then another man, another emotional abuser, getting, up and down relationship. And it was a really ugly cycle. And it sounds like you know what's right. It sounds like you know what's healthy for you. It's just hard because you're emotionally attached to this person, probably, and you may love this person. But if there's someone who treats their children poorly, I don't know if you're planning on having children with him or if you're planning on having children, but that would just break your heart for someone to treat your children like that. Someone who makes fun of how you speak, someone who makes fun of your beliefs. I also think if someone disrespects your beliefs, you either need to be okay with that your partner has different beliefs than you, or you need to date someone who just lines up with what you believe in. You can't be dating someone you're going to be making fun of. I'm sure he knew when he first started seeing you that you were a Christian and that's something you're passionate about. And he seems like a very angry person that just needs to squash somebody, and unfortunately you're that person that he's squashing. So long story short, if I were you, get out as soon as you can, seek the support of your friends and your family, cut it off with him, and go be with your friends, go with your family, do what you need to do to kind of get your mind off of it, because it's almost like poison being in an emotional abusive relationship. Once it's out of your system, you're literally clear, and you look back and you're like, why did I do that? And no matter how long you're in an emotionally abusive relationship, it will always kind of feel like a waste of time to you. Sure, I'm grateful for those relationships that I was in because they taught me now the signs to watch out for, but I do wish that when people said you should leave him, that I took that more seriously, or when I felt this isn't someone that I'm going to be standing at the altar with, this isn't going to be someone that I want to be parenting my children, this is not someone I would want my friends or my family members to be dating. Ask yourself why you are accepting that from somebody else, why you're accepting poor treatment. It's a deep thing. Ask yourself why you think you deserve someone who treats you like that. No doubt about it, you seem like you're done. So just be done. I'm so sorry that you're going through that. Can you give advice on dating someone who has children with someone else? Based on your perspective, how involved should one be with their children and their ex? Co-parent? Thank you. I don't have much experience with this. I've never dated someone with children, but I can say that my brother's wife is a stepmother to my niece Isabella. My father is a step parent to my 3 siblings who I grew up with. So I'm familiar with being a part of families with, you know, co-parenting or whatever. I really think it's up to your partner and what they feel like is appropriate, how long you guys have been together. But I do think, you know, it depends on the age, but I know if there's attitude, if you're being disrespected, baseline, even if you're not their co-parent, you are still, I think, allowed to tell a child that's disrespectful. Please don't talk to me that way. I'm going to speak to your father about how you've been treating me. Like, it's father, mother, whatever. You know, but I really think you want to speak to your partner first, because you don't want to blindside them with the kid being like, she told me not to do this and she's not my mom. It's a difficult thing, I'm sure, to navigate, you know, the kid being like that, you're not my mom, and things like that. So my point of view is sit down with your partner and speak about it, but it can absolutely work, because I'm a part of families that have step parents, whatever, other, you know, additional parents than just 2. I'm going to use the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Luminous Bronze Light. My mom gave this to me because I remember we bought it like last year and she's not into it anymore. I am very much into it. And I'm going to kind of put it where I would contour, but I'm really just bronzing the face because it is pretty warm. But I love this. It's like so luminous. So while I'm doing that, let me find another question. I'm a Sagittarius. Okay, so Sailor 20. Sailor D. Sailor. Maybe it's Sailor. Sailor D20. I'm a Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Rising, Cancer Moon, and Scorpio Venus. Every time I notice a guy showing some kind of interest, I tend to panic and shy away. I pretend like nothing's happening. I even ignore the person completely, but on the inside, I'm actually freaking out and dying of nervousness. I feel like I've missed out on opportunities of having a good relationship because of the fear of getting hurt or feeling vulnerable. I don't want to call this the Sag being afraid of commitment, because I do desire being with someone, but maybe it could be. It's happening right now. I really want to get to know this guy that goes to my gym. So how can I get over those negative thoughts and convince myself that it's okay to open up to someone? Love your videos. Thank you. Yeah, that's really difficult. I am still like that, honestly. I'm lucky that I got into a relationship where we were friends first, because for me, it's difficult, and it's, you know, something I'm still working on just platonically. It's difficult for me to approach people or like socialize with strangers because I have a history, and I don't know if you do, but I have a history of bullying. A lot of people do. I was bullied for a very, very long time. So I was actually speaking with my friend who's a Sagittarius Rising and Moon about this. We still, to this day, I'm 24, and I still feel like I'm the butt of the joke. If someone is hitting on me, I sometimes am like, this is a joke, right? Like, you're mocking me, you're making fun of me. It's crazy. So whatever has affected your confidence and your trust in yourself, that you deserve wonderful relationships, that's something to work through. And at least, yes, I still deal with confidence issues, but I am aware of where they came from. And so when you know the root of something, it's easier for you to say, no, not today. I know you came from 4th grade, people telling me I was ugly, and boys telling me that I was disgusting and they didn't want me, and all of these awful things people have said to me. That's where you're coming from, and that's not me anymore. I'm not in 4th grade anymore. I'm a grown woman, and I deserve love, and I deserve an amazing life, and I am worthy of everything that I dream of, because if I dream it, I deserve it. Not even if I dream it, I can do it. If I dream it, I deserve it. And it's hard, it's easier said than done, but try to look into, you know, where your confidence issues stem from. You know, it could be a parent telling you, I mean, I don't know your life, but it could be a parent telling you you're not good enough. People at school, it could be past relationships. It's really hard to open up, but look into what makes you feel that you're not you're not comfortable showing people who you are, because it might be you're afraid that they're going to not like who you are. It's really hard to approach people, you know? Don't be so hard on yourself, because it really is hard to approach people like at the gym or whatever. Get over those negative thoughts. Yeah, you really just have to learn to speak to your negative thoughts and know that they're not real, they're not correct. So for me, it helps to like deconstruct them. It can feel like my thoughts are telling me you're ugly, you're so unworthy, no one would ever want to be with you. And then all I have to say is, that's not true. You are coming from a place of me having been bullied like 15 years ago, and I make my own story. I define who I am. You are not real. Rewire how you speak to yourself. That was a long-winded answer, but rewire how you talk to yourself, and it can really change how you feel. And also, on another level, look up those quotes on Pinterest that are like, when people tell me you have one life, you never know. It's true. You never know when you leave Earth. You never know. Life is so short. It like makes me kind of emotional, but when looking at quotes that remind me of that and thinking of that, it gives me this adrenaline boost to just freaking do it. Just do it. You never know what could happen. What are your thoughts on Virgo and Gemini? I feel like if they gave each other a chance, it would work. Yes, I'm going to use the Stila Heaven's Hue highlighter in Magnificence as a blush, actually. It's kind of like a rose gold blush. Virgo and Gemini. Yeah, I mean, one of my best friends is a Gemini, and she's actually attracted to Virgos, definitely. I always say it just depends what's in your chart, and it just depends what matters to you. You know, I think you don't have to be alike, but the things that matter to you need to line up. Okay, this is Yasmina Ali. I'm a Virgo woman who keeps developing crushes on Libra men. However, all the articles I read state that it's risky having a relationship with a sign next to you, which is why I'm hesitant to start something with them. What are your thoughts, and do you think I should give it a try? I think you should 100% give it a try. I think articles are written by people you don't even know who... Oh my gosh, this is really in my face. I'm so sorry. Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I'm just going to use some of the warm browns all over my lid, as I always do. Yeah, like, there's only so much you should trust things on the internet, including me. If you think something I say is wrong, please, like, throw it out the window. I think you should absolutely give it a try. I think that if your instinct is telling you that you're attracted to this person, you know, letting articles about zodiac signs kind of push you away from a possible amazing romance or something that will teach you something is not great. I don't love letting letting astrology change my life. It's almost like, sure, I guess I believe in destiny, but I also think you can change your destiny. If someone's telling me I'm gonna die, you know, your destiny is to die from health problems. Well, you know what? No, I'm not accepting that. I'm going to take, you know, measures to be healthy, to take care of myself. I'm not accepting that. You can't just accept, you know, if we all knew our destinies and believed that they couldn't be changed, we would be just accepting BS. We wouldn't be working towards anything. And I think that surprise and fun and learning and failure and success are just all parts of life, and they cannot be avoided, and pain and frustration, they shouldn't be avoided. So I don't let it influence my life. For example, I would be so pissed if a guy was like, yeah, I would date you, but you're a Leo. What? Why don't I just lie about what my birthday is then? Like, let's try this. Give it a try. Give it a try. How should I, Rain said, how should I approach someone I like? How do I tell them I love them? And how can I establish honesty in a relationship? Should I approach someone I like? Fearlessly, confidently, and be excited. How do I tell someone that I love them? It's just that simple. Just say it when you feel it. And how can I establish honesty in a relationship? Walk the talk. As soon as you start being honest, as soon as you start showing, that's my major advice, is just always walk the talk. If your partner is not communicating enough, well, why don't you try communicating with your partner? When I have friends that are talking really loudly, like in a restaurant, and it's like inappropriately loudly, I start talking like this, and then they immediately lower their voice because if someone else is speaking softly around you, it's really weird for you to be talking like this, and then your friend is responding like this. See what I mean? So lead with honest, any kind of aspect, personality type you want in a partner, behave with that personality trait, and hopefully they will follow suit. Guys, I'm just gonna say, bottom line, like, people are like, but people say it's a bad match. No, I make these astrology videos to give you insight on how the dynamic might be. I am not trying to warn you not to date somebody, ever. I am all about dating as much as you want, whoever you want. I'm gonna take a little dark color under the eyes. Do not be afraid of dating because of astrology. I am never, ever trying to encourage that. I know that I am an astrology YouTuber, but again, I just think it's BS to let astrology tell you how to completely live your life. I think that's a little obsessive, and I think people use that as an excuse to, like, I'm not doing this because he's a da-da-da, and I'm like, no, you're afraid. Or you just don't want to date him. You don't need any excuse besides I don't want to, or be honest with yourself. You're afraid, you don't want commitment, I don't know, but we don't need to like make it about astrology. So if you guys are like, should I date him? I'm a this, I'm a that. Do it. Do it. I don't care what sign he is. If he's not nice to you, if he's not respectful, if he offers you nothing, he or she, then no. But I don't really care what their sign is. I make these romance videos about signs because I want to kind of have fun talking about the dynamic, and maybe if you're already in the relationship, how to understand why they are the way they are and how to kind of treat them, and how to kind of work through problems you may face because you guys are different. I would never want to tell you, don't date him, he's a Scorpio. I mean, that's just BS. That's like, this is not Cosmopolitan magazine. No offense, but like, I don't think that's healthy. What to do when you catch feelings for your friends with benefits. Oh, Natalie Loriano asked me that. I'm pulling out my Hourglass ambient strobe light ambient metallic strobe lighting palette because I feel like on camera I do love a little bit of glistening. I had a friend with benefits after I had a kind of bad breakup a few years back, and it was awesome. It was someone we had always kind of like liked each other or like had tension in college, so it was really fun. And then I think he wanted to date me, and at the time I was like, no, I don't even want to tell anybody we're doing this. And then I started to catch feelings for him, but I caught feelings for him because, you can say it's because I'm a Leo, because he was so cool with keeping it under wraps. He was so cool with being low-key about it. He was so cool with not being in love with me. And I'm like, wait, you've like slept with me and you're not in love with me? What? Who do you think I am? Like, I should be a goddess walking like among humans. My expectations were just crazy because I literally was asking for a friends with benefits relationship. So if you're like me, just make sure you're not catching feelings because you're like, well, like going after things that, like guys that don't want you back, you know what I mean? Like, I've always been the kind of person who is just like, if someone doesn't want me, I want them even more. Or like, if they're hard to get, I want them even more. It's bad. So just make sure it's not like that. But if you catch feelings for them, and they're real feelings, I would tell them, honestly, because like, what's better? Having sex with somebody you're like in love with and they're not in love with you, and so when you're making love to them, you're making love to them and they're just doing you, or being honest and saying that you care about someone and then them saying like, we need to stop having sex. That's not really the end of the world. I would just tell them as soon as possible, because you don't want to like, I don't ever think you should be holding back your emotions, repressing things, it's just not good. Madison J, first date advice. People always say be yourself. That's of course true. I'm using the Lash Princess False Lash Mascara. It's really drying out, so it doesn't look as great. But yeah, you always want to be, I understand, like be yourself, but you want to be that first date you know what I mean? Like, this is all I have to offer. It's kind of like a resume, but in a less professional way, but understand that you are worthy of love, you are a catch, and don't take it too seriously, Don't take it too seriously. Focus on having a good time, even if, because I've been on dates where, we had no chemistry, like we met online or something, like on an app, and within the first couple minutes, I was like, we have absolutely no chemistry. But one of them, it was on the 4th of July. We ended up watching fireworks, meeting up with some of his friends who were really nice too. He wasn't a creepy guy, and I think we both were aware that we had no chemistry. So I don't even know if he ever hit me up after that, and I wasn't offended. Like, we just had a good time. Because either way, you're gonna be on the date, right? So you might as well try to enjoy yourself. Yeah, and wear something that you're comfortable with. For example, for me, I would never wear high heels on a first date. I literally only wear heels like to weddings. Have fun. I love first dates. How do I get over my jealousy when I'm in a relationship? Marisol Luna asks. I've been with my Sag guy for a year now and I still get super jealous. My sun is also Sag and moon is in Leo. Oh, that's tough. I just get so heated when he talks to another girl, even if it's just casual. I've been like this my whole life. Well, you have a lot of fire. It's normal for you to get those flare-ups of jealousy. I used to get super jealous, but it also it wasn't even jealous, it was actually distrust. And it was a combination of low self-esteem and me dating guys that I didn't actually trust, and I didn't want to come to terms with that. So just find out if it's, when he talks to other girls, are you mad because you think he's maybe gonna hook up with them, or like that he thinks they're hot? Or are you mad because that's distrust? Or are you jealous because, hey, she's looking at my man? Because I had to rewire the way I thought about it. I realized that when people talk to my guy, yes, he is hot, and I would do the same thing. He's super sexy, and I kind of, as a Leo, and maybe as a Leo moon, you can rewire yourself to kind of realize like, well, damn, you have the hottest guy in the place then, if people are hitting on your partner, and that's amazing. Don't you want to be dating somebody hot? And if you think that it's because he's checking out other girls, is he giving you reasons to distrust? You said you've been like this your whole life. I would suggest, I always think that it comes down to self-confidence, and work on that. If you're not sure how to do that, I really would seek out therapy just to speak about like, hey, my confidence issues and my trust issues are getting in the way. And I am sick of being like this, because it doesn't feel good to be, it's like so sickening to like be jealous and then make up with them, and then, you know, because the feelings feel real. It feels truly like you should be so angry about it, but really, I can say now as someone who got over major jealousy, for me, it was confidence and distrust in my partner. So I hope that helped. I would look into the real causes of the jealousy. Okay. Scrappy sweet. It would be great if you knew something about Capricorn, because me and my boyfriend are having a hard time figuring it out if we should keep on trying or if this is a dead end. So I'm a Capricorn with moon Libra and rising sign Leo. My boyfriend is a Pisces. His exact birth date's a little unsure. He could also be an Aries. And we have been together for 2 years and have gone through some really hard times which almost tore us apart. And we both really feel a lot of love for each other, but also some parts of our personalities won't go together, and it's driving me nuts. Especially when he's having a stressful time, I do everything I can to make it easier for him. But in those situations, he isn't really able to appreciate that, but instead would let all his frustration out on me. And then I feel frustrated in my energy for being there for him. I don't want to tell you to break up or stay with someone. My advice is, if you guys are already looking at it as a dead end, you may just be afraid to admit it's a dead end. I feel like, you know, I'm using Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. You've been together enough, 2 years to see each other's true colors. My dad has always said, before you commit to someone, you need to see them when they're angry, see them when they're stressed, and see how they treat you. If he mistreats you when he's stressed, goodbye. Because life is stressful. You're gonna come across stressful situations that your whole life, it's never gonna stop, and people are always gonna say, well, when life gets less stressful, I can tone it down, I'm sorry. It's like life will never get life is stressful. Unless you deal with your stress and start to look at things not as so stressful all the time. You learn to deal with your stress and realize it's just part of life to be kind of under pressure. It seems like he's not doing anything to figure out his stress. So if deep in your heart you feel like it's a dead end, if in 5 years in the future you kind of hope you weren't with him, or you imagine that when you imagine your ideal guy, this isn't him, or this behavior, like would your dream guy treat you like this? Ask yourself that, because yes, I'm a Leo, but I think everyone deserves their dream person. No one's perfect. Everybody has flaws. You're going to struggle with things. Gio and I have struggled with things. I'm not saying that your dream partner has to be perfect, because that's like fantasy. You know, that's just not real. But your ideal partner, we should say, their qualities exist. So ask yourself if he really is your ideal partner. And if not, don't waste time any longer. But if you think you need some more time before you're really ready to let it go, I get that. I've been there. That's my point of view. Okay, what am I going to do on my lips? Maybe I'll do a gloss. Yeah, I will. I'm going to use the Clarins Instant Light Lip Comfort Oil in Honey Glam. I love this. Oh my gosh. It's so beautiful and it's so nourishing on the lips. Yes. I love gloss on camera. All right, now that we're really glossed up, let me answer a few more questions. I think this is the makeup that I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll fill in my eyebrows just for kicks and giggles. Tess Gustafson. I'm a Cancer, Sun, Venus, and Mars. Hey girl. I have trouble initiating relationships, flirting, and getting vulnerable with others in a romantic sense. I know how to do all of these things, but fear of rejection holds me back. How do you recommend I push through? I've been there. I feel like I've spoken before. You got to build up that confidence, because rejection is everywhere. And I think fear of rejection, it's not just fear of rejection, it's fear of the effect of rejection. If you get rejected, you will be crushed. If you get rejected, you will feel like a piece of crap. And you have to build up your confidence so that when you get rejected, you don't feel like a piece of crap. Because being in entertainment, trust me, I've had to learn this. I get rejected all the time. Like, most auditions are a rejection. So you have to, the fear of rejection is not fear of rejection, it's fear of what's gonna happen to you when you get rejected. And also, something that I would like to say to everyone is, you are allowed to let go of ideas that you or others have had about you. For example, if your family constantly says you're shy, you're probably going to continue being shy your whole life, because they've just said, well, that's just how you are. You are allowed to reject ideas and roles that others have imposed upon you. You might also need to look into, I'm going to do my Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil in 5. Look into possibly the roles that people have made you feel like you have to play, because those might be completely outdated. Sure, at one point you might be shy, at one point you might have been fearful, but guess what? You don't have to be that today, because nobody gets to tell you like your role, and you can change who you are whenever you want. You don't have to be the shy girl, the fearful girl. So aside from building up that confidence, which is the key to everything, which you might want to do through just soul searching, doing things that you love, because doing things you love, you're usually good at them, and you're like, yo, I'm so worthy. Like, I am so worthy of everything. Like, just doing more things that you love and that make you feel good. And also, again, therapy. That combined with understanding that you can toss away expectations that people have had of you. Starlight Moon. There's a Scorpio girl who's into me. I'm a Pisces girl, and I'm afraid she might confess. After my last refusal with a Scorpio male, I'm afraid that she might react the same way as him. He was really petty and honestly kind of ruined the entire sign itself. I want her to still be my friend because I appreciate her and everything. I don't want to lose a true friend just because I'm not interested in her. How do I go about it? Well, wait for her to confess. She might not ever confess. And, I mean, how do you know that she's into you? If you just feel it, I get that. But she might not ever confess. She might know that you're not into it. And if she values your friendship, she won't confess, and she'll be able to shut off that part of her that needs to be romantic with you. Now, if she can't do that, that's her choice. You don't have to make it seem like it's your fault if you guys don't end up friends. No, because if you're not interested and someone is insistent upon being romantic with you, that's on them. It's like, you either need to go away for a minute, get over your feelings for me, and then you can truly be my friend, or we can't be anything. Because if you always have these ulterior motives or these other reasons for hanging out with me. It's uncomfortable and it's not gonna give you anything. It's just gonna make you uncomfortable knowing like, yeah, you keep trying to make me like you and I'm not going to. If she does confess, be honest with her. Give her the benefit of the doubt that she won't, you know, react the same way as this petty guy. She's a girl, so hopefully she'll be a little more maybe mature. This is what I would say. I had a feeling, and I feel really appreciative that you're talking to me about this. I appreciate that open communication. And I'm not interested in you romantically at all. And it hurts me to say that because I know that it possibly might hurt you and I don't want to hurt you. I appreciate your friendship so much, but I'm not interested romantically. I hope that we can go on being friends without an expectation to turn into something romantic because it's, you know, it's not going to. But if not, and you don't want to be my friend, I understand because I get it. That's hard, yes, but again, the only thing that having a friend around you that actually is in love with you is going to do is give you an ego boost, and that's selfish to do to them. So yeah, I hope that helped. That's all I have to say. Oh my gosh, guys, you gave like 50 something comments, so I'm gonna have to do another one of these. I hope you like this makeup. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want another episode. I'll do another Get Ready With Me and answering more of these questions because I have a ton. And I'll talk to you guys soon. I love you so much. Mwah! Take care. Bye, guys.